Alright, what we're going to do is talk a little bit about Bad Day by Daniel Powter. The big thing about this song are two things really. The first thing is that you need to have a capo on the first fret, which means that D is actually going to be played at the third fret. Everything would be played one fret higher. I am currently in England and I don't have a capo with me. But that's the way you would do it, is you'd put the capo on the first fret and then you'd play the rest of it. To show an example of this song, I will not be using the capo, obviously, because I don't have one. So I'm just going to be playing it in the normal position, but when you do it, you got to put that capo on. The second thing, which is really the most difficult part of this, is trying to get used to being able to do the shuffle with your strumming. Again, you have to remember that every song that you're going to play in the history of guitar playing is going to be based off either an even strum or an odd strum. Now the difference is one is like marching. It's just straight 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and so on. Then of course you can miss whatever you want to make rhythms, but it's still going to be based off 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and so on. The other songs, though, what you're actually doing is building off what's called a triplet, which is 1 2 3 1 2 3. It doesn't mean you have to be in 3/4 time. It's just giving it that triplet feel. So the problem is that when you play this, you have to think ta 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 ta. So this song, when I go, what's actually happening is the rhythm is. So when I play this, the easiest way to think about this is that when I strum, this is going to be kind of like the America song we did, Horse with No Name. What you're going to be doing is making the down strum quite heavy and long, and then the up strum is really short. So it's like thinking of it like this. So you're getting like a blues rhythm. Is actually what's happening, and that is really what the rhythm is. It's just sped up significantly. So start off trying to get used to that heavy down strum. See, and the most important thing that you always have to remember are, well, really two things. Again, the first thing is you have to practice your chords enough to where your chords can flow comfortably back and forth. If you try and play anything, remember that sheet that I gave you that talks about you know, the steps of learning a song and all that sort of thing. If you don't really know your chords, none of this is going to work anyway. You have to make sure you practice ample amounts of these chords, and always remind yourself that everybody, including me, anybody else that you talk to, we all had to go through the same thing with these chords. You have to practice them enough to where they just move comfortably. The second thing that you got to get used to now is a lot of scratching to this song, trying to get a feel to that rhythm, because it's the rhythm that sells the song. You know, if you just go, which you can certainly do to begin with, until you get comfortable with things, but that's why you always break down these two parts. You always practice your chords, then you practice your scratching. Practice your chords, practice your scratching. And at some point you're going to start trying to bring those two things together. But the sales of this song, the sales pitch, is totally that rhythm. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to go, there's another section to this song, but 90% of the tune is just D to G to A to G. So you're going D, A, G. And of course, where to switch is another issue. But you know, the first thing that I always want you to think about when you're trying to play these songs is trying to get a feel for things. Now if you watch where I switch my chords, see, it technically switches on an up strum, if you see that. Right here. Down. So that means the D is on a down, the G is on an up, the A is on a down, and the G is on an up. Okay, so the first half and the second half, D to G and A to G, really are the exact same thing rhythmically. So you're going. try and work with those, and then next week we'll talk more about this.